Welcome back everyone, Gaming for XP, back at Tenpines Bluff, and today we're going to attempt to make Fort Bluff. Hope you enjoy this one. Let's get building. So, beautiful day at Tenpines today, and this was an idea that I had for a while, and I got this mod called Cabin in the Woods, and it just seemed to make sense that I would build what I'm about to build. So my influence for this, as a kid I grew up and I watched a lot of westerns as a kid, you know, the US cavalry and forts and Apaches and all that kind of stuff. So I really wanted to build something that was in that genre, or that had that feel about it, that old fort style thing. And Fallout, when you think about it, you know, we're repelling invaders, and Tenpines just seems to be perfect for it. So that's what we're going to do today. I did start building, hence why there's lots of building pieces lying around everywhere. I didn't quite get this right, so I started again. So you can see I'm just using, as usual, I'm just using these, so I'm just taking all these off for now to get this this front part absolutely spot on, because that's basically the basis for the whole build. So if you don't get the front part right, it's, yeah, a bit silly. So using the prefabs to get everything lined up perfectly. And this isn't, to get the main wall and stuff like that done, it isn't complicated. It is pretty straightforward. As you would know if you've watched me before, I do like to use prefabs just to get my foundation into place and get my head around how I'm going to build and what it's going to look like. So exactly what I'm doing here, and the rest is just pretty much putting wall pieces in. Keep in mind, this is the first time I've used this mod from Etheron. It's part of the master plan series, so if you like to do something like this, or you know, something with these kind of textures, check it out. It's excellent. It's got a lot of great stuff in it, and they all snap together pretty nicely. So you can see what I've done here is I've got a couple of guard towers, and basically that's just one of those foundation pieces with the supports, and then a prefab on top. And then it's just a case of getting these different size pieces of the walls and just snapping them in as we need. And you see, I've given myself a little bit of room. I haven't built right up to the boundary, so I've got a little bit of room, so I can snap these in quite nicely. Okay, and that is the basis of, so I'm just looking for the right piece. If you look at the tower, that's the whole basis for every tower that I build. There you go. Pretty simple stuff. Now, I want to obviously have a part going across there, and I need to figure that out and how I'm going to do that. And as I say, again, this is a brand new mod, so it takes me a while just to find the right pieces. So that's right on the boundary line, hence why it won't snap in. That's okay. We'll persuade it in. These are great pieces too. They will sink into the ground, as you can see. But if you pull them up, they will, and they're just the right height, they will snap in nicely. Yeah, I'm just a little bit too close to the boundary, but for the sake of it being lined up, I'm pretty happy with that. I can work with that, no problem. So just putting those pieces across. This is what it looks like. Cabin in the Woods is usually number 2, and I go for the first cabin. There's 2 variations that you can choose from. Go for the first one. So I'll snap that in there, and I'll probably use place anywhere just to put it in. That's it. There we go. There we go. Nice. All done. So it has varying wall pieces. It has a kind of half wall, a full wall, and a kind of vertical half wall as well. So here's the floors, and the idea I have now is to actually come out to the side and go round the corner there. And it actually lines up perfectly just here on the top here. Yeah. And obviously I'm going to have to build a platform up here, but that's fine. No problem. Let's just check the height. Yep, it's pretty good. Those walls are maybe just a fraction too high for me, but that's okay. I can live with that. We can work with that. That's not a problem. Make sure that the height's okay for getting underneath. And I think if you put one more board there, you can walk straight off the end. And pretty much there's not a lot more to teach you. So I'm just trying to establish the front entranceway here, and you can see these are great. See how they snap right into the ground there? Fantastic, love it. Does take me a while to figure out what kind of door I'm going to put in there, but eventually I do figure it out. And same up here. We'll just snap the walls up here. Yep. And very easy, but it looks fantastic. Just has a great look about it. Here we go. Probably a couple more up there. Yep. And one more. There we go. Now there are 3 variations on the colour of wood you can use as well, so just be aware of that when you're building, because it might catch you out if you get the wrong colour of wood there. And that's a darker wood, I think. So I'm going for a slightly lower part here. Is it? I think you can see it's a different colour. That's a different colour as well. So that's the 3 different types that you have. Because I'm new to this, I'm looking going, well, maybe I've just put it the wrong way around. No, you haven't. There it is. That's the right one there. So I don't want it quite as high. So we'll just fix that up. That's not an issue. Okay, we're doing pretty well, I think, so far. We got the main entrance pretty much locked down. We've got to figure out, obviously, how to get up to that second tower, that higher tower. But I think so far so good. Yeah. And that's one of the challenges that you might find when you're building on a settlement that's got a little bit of change in terrain as far as height and whatnot. And that's why I've kind of developed this way of building with the prefabs that helps me kind of just get that into place and compensates for that kind of height discrepancy. So I'm going to put some walkways up here, and then I'll figure out how to get up there. Just FYI, while you're recording, you don't want to be having a sneezing fit. Sorry guys, I had to stop recording there because I was sneezing all over the place, and unfortunately I did get the flu, and I generally record a whole heap of videos at once, so sorry if I sound a bit strange in the voice and a bit croaky. I know I'm hard to understand at the best of times, but it's probably not helping. So pretty much that's the complicated part of the build as far as the front wall goes. Done. Getting the heights right, getting your walkways all in place, and then we just continue here to build the wall basically. So I may give you some, speed it up and give you some building music. So welcome back guys. Obviously I've continued the walls round. I don't think you really need to see that. I think you can work that out. It's pretty straightforward. I think we've all built walls if we've built settlements before. What I really wanted to show here is how I actually end up getting this final part of the wall to line up, because it did present a few issues. And you can see we've come around the corner here now, and if you've seen my plane build, I left the plane settlement in. I think it works here, but if you haven't seen that build, please check it out. It's worth a look. So I recently went out questing close to Tenpines Bluff and found a aeroplane crash site. So the fact that there was an aeroplane, it's more good luck than anything else, but the fact that there wasn't actually an aeroplane crash close by, and there was an aeroplane part in Tenpines, is not so far-fetched now, so I feel pretty good. So if you haven't seen that vid, please check it out. I do a whole kind of settlement build of using a plane part. So you can see here the walls aren't quite lining up as I'd like them to, and it just takes me a while to figure this out, and I thought it was just worth leaving in, because you might come across this issue as well. Now these do clip through quite nicely. Again, I had to convince this one in, I think, from memory. And again, once you do this once, it's hard, depending on what height you're going to go to, you're going to have to do it a couple of times. So just be aware of that. The beauty of these things is they actually do pull down into the ground. So we'll leave it for now like that, and we'll just build the wall beyond that. So get this all in place and actually end up doing something completely different. You see, I've blocked up the wall there, and so that's pretty much it, guys. It's I've got the wall in, we've got the turrets in. What I do end up doing and realizing is that those supports under the towers are potentially areas that you can build into, and I think I end up building at the front gate there, and you'll see that later on if you continue to watch this build, because I start to put a whole lot of little settlement housing and little things in, just so you can have something to watch going forward. But what I'll do with those is I'm going to make those just individual little builds, so that you get an idea. But yep, Cabin in the Woods, really nice mod, really easy to use, which I like, and there's lots of things that I discover inside the mod that is just fantastic. Lots of nice little things. So give the mod developer a little bit of love. He does a really good job. Like, if you haven't seen the Master Plan series, go and check it out. It is excellent. Vanilla extensions and Cabin in the Woods are the ones that I use most often, but there's quite a few other mods that are involved in that series, and they're all high quality. So what I think we'll do, guys, we'll leave it there for today. We'll pick it up next time, because this is getting quite repetitive. Thanks for watching as ever. Thanks for supporting the channel, and we will catch you next time.